no discrimination or racial profiling. It can't. It's illegal. It's wrong. If racial profiling is used, then nobody can be deported from the country. The case is immediately suspended and dropped. All the civil rights protections in the world are based into that law. What the Arizona state immigration law is federal immigration law plus bolstered civil rights protections, plus extra protections to prevent against racial profiling. That's it. In any sane country, this is the most common sense law that you need to have, because if the federal government won't enforce your borders, then you have to do it if your state is being overrun by sex traffickers, drug dealers, rapists, and murderers, as Arizona is. And so now, we had the showdown at the White House. And now, under increasing pressure, as the liberal media and liberal interest groups and the Democratic Party decry Arizona state immigration law, comparing it to white supremacy, comparing it to Jim Crow, comparing it to apartheid, comparing it literally to Hitler's Germany, that this was like the Jewish laws against the Jews. This is what many liberal Democrats were claiming. Obama, our dear leader, oh, he won't enforce our nation's borders. He won't enforce our nation's immigration laws. He's too busy talking to Felipe Calderón, the president of Mexico, on the phone to get his orders from the dictator of Mexico. He can't handle the BP oil spill. He's too busy working out and pumping those peps, making sure those pecs are nice and sexy. He doesn't have time for that. He doesn't have time to restore economic growth. He doesn't have time to deal with our faltering economy. He doesn't have time to rein in our balanced budgets. But what does the dear leader have time for? To unleash Eric Holder's Justice Department to see if the Arizona state law could possibly be deemed unconstitutional or a civil rights violation. So Obama, through Eric Holder, the Attorney General, have now repeatedly threatened Jan Brewer and the state legislature in Arizona, saying, we will challenge this law in the courts. We will see everything in our power. We will do everything we can to declare that law null and void. In other words, the president is siding with the criminals. The president is siding with the illegals. The president is siding with Mexican illegals and the Mexican government against his own state, against his own citizens, against his own people. And when Jan Brewer was asked by the media, when she was on CNN's Larry King, she was asked, according to all these liberals in the press, all of these establishment leftists, all of these pro-Obama hacks who see racism everywhere, that's all they can see is racism. Why have you passed this law? Why has Arizona passed this law? Here is what Jan Brewer said on CNN. Ray, roll clip 1, baby.
In our state, and we want everybody involved. We just don't want illegal immigration, and we want our borders secured. It's as simple as that.
Wow.
We don't want to pay the price that we have to pay.
You Nazi.
Let me ask you in closing, when you sit across the table from the President of the United States, what is your number one, I don't know whether to call it a demand, a request, what is it?
I think that it will probably be, Mr. President, we need our borders secured. How can we work together to get it done? We need your help. We've been putting up with this for 8, 10 years. We need it now. We can't tolerate it any longer. We cannot tolerate it. America can't tolerate it any longer.
In other words, Mr. President, do your job. Enforce the immigration laws of this country. Give us the National Guard. Give us the troops. Give us the border security personnel that we need to close this border and protect us from these rampaging drug dealers and rapists that are stalking the streets of Arizona. And so now, John King, whoa, what's this? Now the governor of Arizona is actually thumbing her nose at the dear leader? At the strong man in Washington? At the gangster in chief? At the con man in chief? Nobody has the guts to do that. Nobody stands up to Obama. So now John King of CNN says, well, hold on. Our dear leader has said he's going to challenge you in court. The Justice Department is now going to sue the state of Arizona and seek to get the law thrown out. What are you going to do? And look at Jan Brewer's answer. Ray, roll clip 2, baby.
And if his answer is, I'm going to do what I announced, but your law is misguided and my Justice Department might sue you.
I would say, well, we'll meet you in court. I have a pretty good record of winning in court.
Don't you love her? See you in court. I will see you in court. Now, my friends, let me ask you this. Why is it, with all of these macho men, conservative macho men, running around on Capitol Hill, the John Boehners, the Mitch McConnells, all of these guys, the Eric Cantors, all of these sort of tough guy Republicans doing their big act, how come nobody has the cojones to stand up to the dear leader the way this woman, Jan Brewer? Why is it we have to have a woman conservative, a woman governor, have more cojones than all the male conservative Republican politicians on Capitol Hill? Where's John McCain? Where's John Kyle, the senators from Arizona? Oh, look how they bow in front of the dear leader. But she's the one that says, we'll see you in court. You want to take this to court? Let's take it to court. And my friends, here is the question that the Obama administration and the liberals, the advocates of open borders and massive unlimited illegal immigration, cannot answer. If this is such a racist bill, if this is such a racist law, tell me, why is it that over 80% of Arizonans, over 3/4 of Americans, despite the relentless propaganda, support it? Is Arizona a racist state? Are most Americans racists? And tell me, why are most African Americans in support of the Arizona state law? Tell me, are they all racist too, our dear leader? I'd like to know the answer to that. And so today, facing down the dear leader, in front of the negotiating table, you think Obama had the stomach to stare her down? You think Obama threatened her and said, we're going to go to court, you're wrong, you're a racist, and I'm going to browbeat you? No. Like the coward that he is, he met a woman that had more cojones, more stomach, more steel, more determination than he did. The coward chickened out. Face to face with her, he was just cordial. He wouldn't even discuss the Arizona state law. Ray, roll clip 3, baby.
He indicated that he was leaving that up to the Department of Justice and did not want to discuss that in any kind of detail today. So that was kind of brushed over a little bit.
Yep, just brushed it over. She came in there with her lawyers, guns blazing. She was going to debate him. She was going to stand up to him. And the dear leader blinked. Just as he blinks on North Korea, just as he blinks on Iran, just as he blinks on the BP oil spill, he always blinks. And my friends, the question before the House is, do you believe that Jan Brewer did the right thing in staring down President Obama? And more than that, do you support the Arizona state immigration law, or do you believe Obama is correct in challenging it in the courts as racist and unconstitutional? I want to hear from you. 301-984-9570 is the number. 301-984-9570. Is Jan Brewer a hero for standing up to our dear leader, President Obama? This is Jeff Kuhner on 570 WTNT, the last honest man in Washington.
I would say, well, we'll meet you in court.
Anybody know how to pray?